All right, everybody, look what we got today. This is like the Lamborghini of cases right here, without the Lamborghini prices. We're gonna open it, we're gonna put it together, we're gonna review it, and hopefully by the end of the episode, we're gonna be loading up some figures. Okay, so this is our display from Collector Displays. And he said that all we needed was these tools right here. So we have our cooking shears that we're gonna use to, cut things open, a hammer, Allen wrench, set, flathead screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver. So let's just dig into this thing. So here's some of the inlays. It says to remove the film, but we're gonna do that later. Packaged really, really nice. It says, please read the instructions fully. Ooh, look at this. So these are all the sides. Smells like freshly cut wood. When you assemble IKEA furniture, and there's always those pieces that you have extra, I don't think that's gonna happen here, but I mean, you know what I mean. Whoa, check this out, huh? That's beautiful. But we're gonna put this to the side and see what's underneath. So this is the plexiglass that goes over the front. It has the card back border around it. So we're gonna put this to the side too. So here's a smaller box that we're supposed to open. Hey Joey, number 2 in the USA. May the force be with you always. Drew. We could have been number 1, but if we were number 1, I'd be really nervous because then that means we'd be the USA guinea pig. I'm happy to be number 2. Thank you, Drew. Okay, so here are the LED light strips. It looks like a magnetic strip, so we'll make sure to read the instructions for that. So this is the switching adapter. This is for the lighting. Here is all of the acrylic stands for the displays, and this is the extension platform for the variants. So we'll put that to the side. Packaged really nice. All right, so that's what we have. The steel dowels can be placed into the tool holes at the top panel. There's the 2 holes right here. So that is the top panel. So let's find the steel dowels. Let's get our hammer. Place in the 2 holes on the top panel. Use a hammer on a flat surface. Screw the top panel to back panel using the 32mm black screws. So these are the black 32mm screws. You can see I have 1 in, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go. Would you guys drink blue milk at Disneyland just for the experience? Or would you not want to because in your mind, you think it tastes like something and you don't want to ruin that experience? Repeat the process with the bottom panel. No steel dowels are required on this panel, so the holes can go on the underside. All right, so let's go ahead and do the bottom panel. So it's the same thing. We have the 4 holes along the bottom, but this one does not have the dowels. I feel like the intergalactic Bob Vila. Darth Vila. On today's episode, we make an intergalactic Star Wars case. I can see why it didn't come completely assembled. That would have been too bulky, and that would have raised the shipping costs. A little arm workout. I'm gonna have Popeye arms after this. So we got the bottom portions up. Now let's go back to our instruction book. It's the same thing, we're just gonna do the sides here. Line up the left panel with the panel edges and screw into place using the 32mm black screws. We'll do that side first, but how cool is this? In about an hour, we are gonna be putting these Star Wars figures in this case. Who do you think the strongest Star Wars character is? Doesn't matter if it's a main character or a side character. This is what I'm thinking. It would be a really good fight between Chewbacca, a Man-a-Man, and a Wampa. That would be a good Star Wars battle royale. I would pay money to see that. I'm gonna get the intergalactic Dong King to set up that fight. All right, 1 more pedal to go. And it hasn't taken that long to get this all in order. And the instructions are pretty easy. We have 1 more screw on this side, and the side panels are complete. And then we can start with the cosmetics. It's always the last screw that is the hardest. Let's put it this way. Get the instructions out. Now peel the backing from the internal Death Star sidewalls. This is where it gets real, everybody. Really happening. We're taking off the film. Peel the backing from the internal Death Star sidewalls and stick the panels inside with the logo at the bottom. All right, so the logo's at the bottom. That's a Collector Displays logo, which I will proudly display. All right, we'll do this side first. Gosh, this means it's permanent. Okay. Oh, there it is. We did it. The logo's on the bottom. There's going to be a mess. I'm going to do an angle like this so that way I can make it flush. Put it up against. Beautiful. It's really coming together now. Now apply the magnetic tape to the front edges of the side panels. Apply plenty of pressure and then pin approximately every 125 millimeters. So that's what our hammer's for. 125 millimeters is about 5 inches. So about every 5 inches, we're gonna have to put a little nail. So let's get the magnetic tape out. It's kind of nerve-wracking. Now I know how the guys that were controlling the Death Star felt. Can you imagine the first test of the Death Star? Like firing it, and the guys must have looked at each other and said, "Have you tested this before?" And the guy next to him probably said, "No, have you?" "No." And then they get the call from Tarkin to say fire. It's like you just look at each other and you're like, "Huh? Okay." All right, so we're doing this all the way around. So I'll get to doing that. What's next? Unwind the LEDs from the roll. Now decide where you want the cable to exit the cabinet. You can choose any corner. I do like how he has everything taped up so it's not just flying everywhere and it stays in place. If you guys get one of these cabinets, everything does come very organized. We're gonna have the cable exit right here. So it says peel back the first 25 millimeters or so from the connection end of the LED tape backing. Stick the first part of the LED tape so that it sits back from the front edge by approximately 1 millimeter. Now peel and stick the rest of the tape until you arrive back at the start. Cut the tape at the closest connection as indicated. Okay, so we're gonna stick the first 25 millimeters on and just keep on going until we reach the end. If you're doing this, do have plenty of light because you really need to see the detail in what you're doing. But if you want it done right, patience in this part is going to pay off because you want this absolutely perfect. When you're laying down the LED tape, you do want to make sure you go over it again and just pat it down. We're going to cut along the orange dots because that's the cutting line. We're going to remove the film. Oh my God, that's so shiny. All right, so here is the panel that goes on top. The face panel. The steel tape has already been applied to this panel. It will contact the magnetic edging. Put the small 4M bolts through the logo and into the pre-drilled holes on the face panel. Look how great that looks. Now you can really see it. All right. So you push it in and you roll it from like left to right like this. Just to nudge that in there. All right, so here it is, our case in all its glory. And it didn't take that long to set up. It was easy instructions, easy to follow. All you had to do was read the instructions, put the LED light on there,
But now, there's 2 more things left to do. 1, turn on the lights. Now let's put those figures inside. So there is the case in all of its glory, and I really want to thank Drew Tegg from Collector Displays for creating such a great and such a quality case. I'm so proud to have this in my collection, and isn't it cool that now we can have a case to put all of our figures in there after each episode and have a visual checklist like that? So I'm hoping that you guys like this episode. If you guys want to reach out to Collector Displays, I have a link in the descriptions for you guys. And as always, thank you for joining me on the journey. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you guys can all follow the journey. I will see you guys next time.